I think the biggest thing for us and for me has been personal growth, actually seeing our leaders grow and giving them a tool. I mean, we always talked about growth and development, and people would try different things, and this by far has been the most powerful growth tool we've ever had in the company. So it really gives us something to help leaders grow, and myself grow as well. I think that's the biggest thing with the Enneagram over the years is having people become self-aware. And to me, all that means is just being aware of what's going on inside of them in the moment, and gauging their impact on people. We see this a lot where people say, well, I didn't intend to do it that way, or I didn't intend to say that, or I didn't intend to have that reaction in someone else. And the Enneagram has helped a lot of us on my dealings with that person. There's been dramatic shifts in people. One person in particular who's a very strong 8 and tended to be very caustic and offensive to people, and learned to take that energy and shift it in a more positive approach so that people didn't see him as offensive anymore. He was the same person, but he was able to be intentional with his impact and take that energy, and instead of making a negative, offensive energy, actually make it a positive and uplifting energy when he interacted with people. And he's become one of our most effective leaders because of that. If he hadn't done that, he really was kind of doomed to fail in this organization, because he was running people over, and it's just not the kind of company we have. We don't treat people that way.
When I was first introduced, I didn't want to be typed. I think a lot of people don't. They think of themselves as very individualistic. Which they are. This doesn't take that away, but it absolutely helps you understand how you think, why you're thinking that way, where you go when you're stressed out, where you go when you feel really good. And I think the most important is the impact that you have on others. It's a very liberating experience to get to know yourself at a level that, they just don't teach in school.
Right, right.
You can really communicate much more effectively with people, because when everybody's on board and everybody, at our meetings we all know who we are. There's different styles, come from different places. So I know when I'm going to have a conversation with an 8, I know I've got to show up a certain way to have an effective dialogue with this individual, and they likewise. So it really sets people up for success along those lines. And one of the things that, as we recruit and continue to bring new talent into our organization, when we talk about developmental things such as the Enneagram, you can see people's lights go on, their eyes lighten up, because a lot of organizations don't invest in their people. And when you start talking at the level that we do, it really differentiates us from some of our competitors. And the people that really want to make a difference and grow and leave a mark in where they work or in their lives, it really is a good attractant to come work for companies like the Carrot Trees, because there's a lot of companies that don't invest back in their people. We've been introduced tools at the Carrot Trees, and Enneagram is really a tool that is really about me, and it's about I can take it as deep as I want to, so it really gets down to what's in me and what I want to do to make me become better. A lot of the other tools are process-oriented or simpler communication tools, but the Enneagram is probably one of the more intense tools that I've ever been exposed to.
5 years ago, I probably would have been named as unapproachable, not open to feedback, angry, or some other unflattering terms. But now I think people look at me and say she's driven, she's motivated, I'm very receptive to feedback now. But again, I'm like others, it's a lot in the delivery.
The benefit of the Enneagram is to find yourself in one of those two spots. Use your upsides when you can, but be aware of the challenges and make a decision to do something about it in those moments. That's a real advantage.
One of my favorite sayings is, to be an effective leader, you need to understand yourself and your impact on other people.
Right. So for me, that one's been really, really important. The second piece, though, is about helping to lead others, right? And really the key to leadership is to understand what their highs and lows are, so that you can get the best out of whoever's on your team, regardless of what those highs and lows look like. Knowing that lets you put people in the right position.
Is realizing your impact on others, your impact on yourself, what negative but what positive things you can bring, how you can work on those negative, what are your areas of improvement. But knowing what I bring to the table makes it so much easier to deal with what the other issues are, versus having no clue as to what I'm doing, and why do I act like that? Why do I do that? I think that's just that general self-awareness will make you incredibly successful, because it's all about you, but it's also about how you work with others. Like,
Right.
how do I work?
So has the Enneagram helped you in your personal life as well?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Even out in, outside work, yeah. How I even treat others, how I react to others, how I am in situations, how I carry myself. Yeah, definitely. The Enneagram is a very powerful tool for day-to-day.